Okay, great evening. Great and good evening to every one of us, my very dear Empower volunteers, Empower trainees, Empower beneficiaries at large. It gives me great pleasure to speak with you one more time after a bit of a long break, a bit of a few weeks. And as I typically do, I bring you greetings of His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammad Buhari, and also his Vice, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. I'm sure this is our first outing, our first engagement via this medium since the election was fought hard and won. And I did celebrate with each and every one of you, thanking you for your support for Mr. President's re-election. And let me use this medium again to say a very big thank you for all the hard work that I know you all did put in ensuring that Mr. President and his vice were re-elected for a second tenure in office. Today my job is really very simple. One is basically to address each and every one of us, as I typically do, and just to in varying categories. Firstly, I know that Batch 1 Empower volunteers, that I like to call the great veterans of the Empower program, of the Empower philosophy. I salute you and I thank you for what you've continued to do in your places of primary assignment, in your various communities. I know that you are all itching to know what's our fate, what's the next step, what do we believe, what do we not believe. There are all sorts of messages and conflicting messages out there. But this is what I'll say to you very simply. First, I want to remind you of the Empower program and of the promise of the administration as a job creation enhancement program. You've been in the program now for at least about 28 months, and you would have heard me consistently say to you that you need to think and count backwards. And with every opportunity that you have in this program, you really want to maximize, you want to utilize, you want to ensure that you save and consider doing valuable, sustainable things with your life, with your with your proceeds, such that even when empire ceases to be for you, you are not back to ground zero. This has been my message to you repeatedly and consistently, and that message remains the same. Firstly, I want to I think we are privileged, that you have continued to remain in the program as you also serve in your various communities, discharging of your duties. And I want to hope that you are not relenting at doing that. We've gotten complaints from some states who say that the Batron volunteers no longer come to work because they are scared of tomorrow and things like that. The last information you do have from us is that you will continue to earn while you work. And for as long as we continue to pay you, I want to believe and hope that you have also continued to work. Now, as you do that, of course, one of the things I've said to you also from day one is I will never say to you not to go for job interviews. I will never say to you not to explore greater opportunities, and that's the reason why we've continued to encourage as many of you that have taken on entrepreneurship opportunities. Some of you have grown it to the point that you have resigned. I remember Benedict in Ondo State, and many of you have also gotten jobs and have honorably resigned. That is always that's the story of Empower. So we will not stop you from seeking greater opportunities, but please do so with the full consent and permission of your supervisors, such that you are not reported as an abscondee. Think about it. The reward of any race is not for he who starts; it's actually for the person who finishes and finishes well. So I want to admonish you that so long as the federal government continues to pay his own obligation to you, then you must also continue to fulfill your obligation to the state. I also know A few of you in batch 1 have not received devices. We are aware of you. So I often say to you, do not worry. We are aware of you. It's just that we will come up with devices when we deal with devices with batch 2. However, there are few of you, very few of you, who you had selected the Techno device and or the Beta device when you made your selection. And indeed, I'm also aware that because those two devices were above the device credit, some additional debit have been made. You've had to pay those additional deductions. So we've authorized that your devices, again, remember your devices were sitting at the MTN offices for a long time until they were returned uncollected. But we directed again that the Npower support team would contact you and ensure that for these few of you that your devices are here, you selected devices at when due, your extra deductions for your devices have been made, that you get your devices. For batch 2, my message to you is not too different from batch 1. Npower is a learn, work, and entrepreneurship program. It is the onus is on you to ensure that you continue to work. I hope you are copying the good examples of our batch 1 volunteers and give of your utmost best to them. We have not forgotten you at all regards the issue of devices, and I'm sure some of you continue to engage even Mr. Vice President himself in person. Those of you in Gombe volunteers, I salute you. I've seen your videos of all your interactions and the happy mood in welcoming Mr. Vice President earlier today. Also, those of you in Ekiti a few weeks ago. So you all also get to see him in person, and he engages you. So we have not forgotten you. Apologies that it's taking longer than expected, but soon enough we'll get across to you on what is required for your devices. For those in the non-graduate program, let me greet our trainees in the N-Build, various batches comprising batch 1 and batch 2. I have received complaints from those of you in batch 1A discussing the fact that your stipend stops in the month of April. Let me also remind you, I think my fellow Nigerians and dear youths, let's always be reminded of our promises and the engagements we make. The N-Build program, just like every other non-graduate program, whether it's the N-Tech hardware, creative, N-Tech software, the Npower Creative, any of our non-graduate program, it's a one-year program. It's a skills to training, 3 months in center and 9 months apprenticeship for extended practicals for you. And you get enrolled on month 1, and at the end of month 12, you exit the program. Yours is much easier as well, because remember, we've also given you your exit tools from the beginning. And we've continued to, the reason you also have your 9 months apprenticeship is to continue to engage with the larger ecosystem that is able to embed you. I salute and celebrate a lot of you in the automobile component that have also actually been retained by your apprenticeship employers. So I congratulate you, and I hope you continue to do well to maintain that position. So please, the non-graduate programs are 1-year program. You all have commenced the program at different times. But batch 1A, your 12 months ended end of March, and that's why your stipends have since stopped since April. But you need not worry about stipends when you're already earning much more than your stipends, as we hear from your stories. What is remaining for you, however, is for the councils, the various councils, your Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, COBON, which handles the construction trades, and the Automotive Council, Development and Design Council, NADDC, that handles the automobile trades, to conclude your assessment and issue you your permanent registration ID cards. Now that, I would apologize that has delayed a bit. It only delayed also because they're trying to process all of you batch 1 together. Remember that we had batch 1A and batch 1B. Now for those in batch 1B, you will not be wrapping up on your wrap up is in August 2019. You are currently undergoing your apprenticeship at the moment. So the councils are actually trying to batch you all batch 1 and deal with you all collectively. But any moment in the next few weeks and months, they will contact you to finalize your assessment and also be able to issue you your ID cards as registered members, registered technicians under their various councils, which enables you to work in the industry and even outside of the country. I want some of you to have aspirations of being able to work in Dubai, Oman, and many other parts of the country because you are now so qualified. Let me therefore encourage our batch 2 MBO. This is your first month. You indeed only just commenced your training last week, even though you've also been undergoing different aspects of the pre-selection, your physical registration has centered, the life skills training, orientation, and now the formal training has commenced. Let me encourage you with the stories of our batch 1 trainees. If you can find any one of them in your community, please look for them so that you can be encouraged by their personal story. I'm reminded of one of our trainees who started out in painting in one of the southeast states, and actually while still doing the training, because she decided to paint our own bedroom, our landlord saw the work and gave her the church, to paint the entire church premises. And she had to obviously come back to our center to cohort our fellow colleagues and even their trainers to do it together collaboratively to be able to deliver on that assignment. Those are the opportunities that you have from day one. You don't even have to wait till graduation before you begin to earn. Those are the beauties, such as the beauties of the non-graduate skills to job program. So again, in the same vein, so I want to encourage the batch 2 MBOs, please pay attention, be diligent, understand that attendance is compulsory, understand that you must ensure that your center heads mark your daily attendance and also upload the attendance on the portal. Understand that discipline is key, and understand that your graduation after the end, your center graduation after 3 months is not automatic. You must meet this criteria as contained in your rules of engagement for you to graduate and for the tools, your exit tools, to become yours. For now, during your training, it still remains the property of the federal government, even though we have issued it in your name. But if you do not meet the terms of graduation, of a successful graduation, then you really cannot, the ownership cannot vest. So I want to encourage you to stay focused, be passionate, and really be engaged. The tech hardware, our end tech hardware, all of you in the other parts of the country, you're currently doing your apprenticeship. Only trainees from the Southwest will be graduating this Friday to commence apprenticeship. I hope that you're learning and learning more. I'm encouraged by the story of one of you in Nasarawa, that I believe that I saw the video of great things he's doing with the toolkits that he got and with the lessons and experience that he got during training. Such is the purpose of Npower, and I want you all to grab it. For those in the Npower software, both the south and the north, please bear with us. Our providers are concluding the process, and I'm sure for those in the southern part of the country, maybe I don't know which one comes first, but I'm sure any moment from July 1, you will start getting notifications to commence. For creative, same thing. The providers for both parts of the country, north and south, have also been engaged, and I think the southern part may start earlier than the northern part. But stay in trust with this government that you have come to trust, and I'm sure that we will deliver. So those are my general comments. I would move on now to my general concluding remarks to you all, my great Npower volunteers. I would be giving a short remarks, and which you will term that remarks, or you will name whatever that remarks is. But really, firstly, I must start by thanking God, the Almighty, the giver of all wisdom, grace, strength, and mercy, for a remarkable 4 years. In the last 4 years that I've maintained this position, that has also brought about this program. I must also thank Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Muhammadu Buhari, and His Excellency the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, for the uncommon privilege to join their team and the consistent faith in me to deliver on our promises to Nigerians, especially you, the Nigerian youths. I'm indeed immensely and eternally grateful to both the President and Vice President. I want to remind you of our journey in administering my task in coming into the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. We believed in Nigeria, not just in the Nigerian state, but in the enormous potential of our huge population, mostly the youths, as we sought to build and transform the youth into a veritable globally competitive human capital. We believed in ourselves as well, the young people of Nigeria, the power within us, fully convinced that once there is a will, especially political will, which has been lacking over many years, a patriotic spirit that is driven by a genuine love of our people, then surely there would be a way. Now, this is a philosophy that gave birth to Npower. I must commend a strong political will that we received from Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, our strong commitment to learn from the mistakes of past administrations and to make this as an investment of the federal government directly into your lives on a very large scale. At the same time, we were determined to deliver a maximum return on this investment by embracing a collaborative multi-stakeholder engagement strategy across all tiers of government. And you will bear witness that we've worked with every tier of government, the local government, the state government, and indeed all the various ministries that have been our partners at the federal level. And the whole benefit of this is to ensure that we deliver an enduring impact in your lives as beneficiaries. This is the reason why we embraced homegrown technologies that has been provided by many of our providers, Softcom and the likes, technology that have been developed by young Nigerians for Nigerians from day one, allowing every Nigerian equal participation of equity, justice, and inclusion for all. Let's also be reminded that we were determined to develop a 21st century globally relevant human capital, instilling in them a culture of hard work and diligence, even as we rolled out Npower. Npower, as I've often said to you, was designed as a learn, work, and entrepreneurship, a tripod program that was enabled by technology-driven devices, even as you are youth committed to giving of yourselves to your local communities as Npower volunteers in teaching at schools, health workers at the various health centers, extension workers in our various farms. And even more, we have recorded various self-sponsored community projects that you have driven, such as book clubs, healthcare awareness programs leading to prevention and treatment of various ailments, installation of water boreholes, to mention just a few in every length and breadth of Nigeria. We also have our youths who have committed themselves to developing their technical skills, capacities for opportunities in several industries that were not also left out, whether it is from the Npower build, as I spoke about earlier, or the technology, software, and the creative industries. By these successful interventions across country, we erected what we call signposts, pointing us in the right direction towards revitalizing a national consciousness of apprenticeship required for our cottage industries if Nigeria is to truly accelerate our industrial, technology, and knowledge revolutions. And this we must all do at the same time so that we can catch up with the world. Now, the life-transforming impact testimonies that we continue to receive from you, our numerous Npower beneficiaries, abound and is an encouraging pointer for us that we are indeed on course. Now, the work is far from finished. Indeed, we have only just begun. This is what we realized as we approached the 2019 general elections, when I personally believed in the re-election mandate of Mr. President and Vice, and we campaigned vigorously to you all, and indeed through you all, to return Mr. President and his Vice for a second term, so that they can both consolidate on our gains and to take Nigeria to the next level. You listened to us, you believed our message, and you still do, and you did just that by voting and thus returning them for a second tenure in office. For this, we're eternally grateful to you, our beneficiaries. As it is customary, the first tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration comes to an end on Wednesday, May 29, and he takes the oath of office for a second tenure on the same day alongside his Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. I am convinced that with this renewed tenure, they will redouble their efforts to continue to deliver the dividends of democracy to all Nigerians. Similar transition will be happening in most states as well, even as some states may be transitioning from one political party to another. My dear Npower beneficiaries, let me therefore admonish you that in periods of transition like this, there may be temporary uncertainty here and there, giving opportunities for rumors and counter-rumors. Please remember that with Npower and indeed the entire National Social Investment Programs, we ran an all-inclusive strategy with all states devoid of political party affiliations. As such, I call on every one of you as you listen to me tonight not to lose faith or be dragged into unnecessary acrimony. Rather, please remain faithful and stay focused on the goal of your continued personal development, as that is the only path that leads us to a sustainable collective development. I want to admonish you as well to continue to engage constructively with all levels of government, from the local to the state and federal, as you continue to contribute your valuable quota to building the Nigeria of our dream. Continue to respect every line of authority delegated to supervise and appraise you and your work, not looking for shortcuts or sharp practices to beat the system. At every opportunity, I admonish you to do your best to be a good patriotic citizen of the country, each one seeking the good of the other through valuable economic partnerships, cooperatives, associations, even as you have continued to do, because that is what will engender togetherness and enable you leverage your today for a greater tomorrow. For as is often said, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you truly want to go far, then you want to go together. I wish you all continued success. And as I also enjoin you to pray for our President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his Vice, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, as they take new oath of office, pray for them for great health, for wisdom and strength, for greater next level success. Because I believe that you all will be part of the next level success. So I'm going to end this evening on those admonitions and just enjoin us to stay committed, to stay faithful. I've also continually informed us to remain logged into our veritable channels. You may hear many things across many channels, but please remain logged into our veritable channels. You're listening to me or watching me on this platform, which is a Facebook verified channel. You will always hear whatever is authentic news in that through that platform. Our Twitter handle, our Instagram handle, and many other handles that we may operate on social media. Our call center remains open. The phone lines are there, and the emails are also there. The support emails are also there. So please, rather than engaging in any form of destructive tendencies of any sort, I would just enjoin you that you continue to do what you know to do, and would make it a point of duty to update you of whatever information that is required of you to know and as at when due. Thank you very much. God bless you, and do have a great evening. Thank you.